I picked up a 1999 Porsche Boxster. The guy I bought it from had it at a shop. Said the shop couldn't get it running. So what I did was it cranks over, just won't fire up. So I shot carburetor cleaner in the intake, and it will fire up, so it'll run. So I came up front to check the fuel pump. I checked the voltage to the fuel pump with the key on. I've got voltage, but fuel pump doesn't do anything. So I pull the battery out, pull the battery tray out to access the fuel pump. 4 bolts for the battery tray. Underneath that battery tray, then you can access the fuel pump. And I've had all this out, so I'll just show you what I did. To get the fuel pump, like I said, pull the battery out, battery tray out. Then I ran 12 volts directly to the pump, and still nothing, just to verify. Then to pull the pump out and the sending unit out, you undo the fuel lines. To undo the fuel lines are little push button tabs on the lines. Pull all 3 of these lines out, tab on all 3, get them out of your way, and then there's a ring on here that threads on and holds the sending unit down. I don't have a special tool. I know Volkswagen uses the same system. There are some other manufacturers, I think Porsche does, in the Boxsters and the Caymans and some other ones. They use this system. I think the newer 911s might even use this, but like I said, I didn't have the tool. I know on Volkswagen I've used in the past before in the Golfs. I've used a screwdriver and a hammer to get. You get a screwdriver on these tabs and tap them loose, but the angle's a lot steeper on this than a Volkswagen with the back seat out, so I couldn't really do that. What I use is I used a big pair of channel locks, and I got that ring loosened up. Then you can spin it off by hand, pull the ring off like that, and I've drained all the gas out of this car. I've had it all apart, drained it all out. So I'm not going to be working with the gas here. So, but if you have gas in your tank still, be careful you don't get gas all over everything. Once you've got that off and all the lines off, you can pull your sending unit out, and be careful you don't break anything or mess anything up. I noticed on mine, if you can see here, some of the insulation's missing on these wires. I think I'll solder new wires, solder from one end to the other, put new wires in. Sending unit I think is like $300, and I know you can buy the sending unit at you can buy the sending unit from Auto Atlanta, Pelican Parts. I don't know who else has it, maybe RM European, but you pull the sending unit out, pull the float out, they get the float out, and then the sending unit comes out. Then you take that and get it out of your way, and the fuel pump then is down at the bottom of the tank. And what you have to do is, it's got a twist lock and it fastens onto the bottom of the tank. You've got to turn it like 1/8 of a turn to the left, and then it just lifts out. Sometimes they can be tough to get out. This one was hard. I actually had to use a strap wrench, get a strap wrench down in there and get it turned so I can pull it out. But they will come out pretty easily. And like I said, you just do it 1/8 of a turn and just pull them right out. And here's the pump on mine. I've had mine out and I bench tested it. I ran 12 volts to my pump just to make absolutely certain that the pump is bad, and it is bad. So this I'll get coming from, I haven't ordered one yet, but like I said, Pelican Parts has them, RM European has them, Auto Atlanta is a little slow to ship. That's my experience anyway. There's some other places. I'm sure Rock Auto has them. You can get one from your parts store. But if I were you, I would do an OEM replacement part. I wouldn't go aftermarket. I don't know if Bosch makes them or who makes them, but I'd get a good one. You don't want to do this multiple times because you bought a cheap pump. In the bottom of the pump here is the filter, the pickup screen to keep sediment out of your pump. But it's pretty straightforward, really. The hardest part is getting this turned and getting it pulled out. But they do come out. And until I get a new pump coming, or until I get a new pump here, I'm going to cover this. I want to work on that sanding unit, work on the wire, so there's no point in me putting it back in. What I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm just going to put a bag over the top of the tank, and I'm going to set this ring back on here and just kind of set it here and hold things in place just so I don't get anything down in that tank. And when I get a new pump, I will put it all back together and we'll see what happens. Until then, good luck.